Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you today. I'm very, very glad to have you, and I always look forward to having you. My name is Jonan Kandwanaho, and I'm the team leader at Jonaki Holdings Limited. And at Jonaki Holdings Limited, we offer credit, we give loans, we lend money. So if you need money to support your business, to scale up your business, to uplift your business, or to start, or to have other branches or clear that consignment or acquire that vehicle, we actually get to support you. We get to actually give you money, and then we get to grow with you. We have supported a number of businesses and we have grown with them. Guys who would afford, who had a net worth or a business net worth of maybe 10 million, then scale it up to 50 million, then 100 million. And as we talk now, it could be 300 or 400 million. So we've walked the journey with them, and that's what we always look forward to, walking the journey with you, supporting you to grow your business. And also I share with you a few things that the Lord has blessed us with: knowledge, information, wisdom. So we get to support our clients with even financial acumen, with financial knowledge. So we get to work with you, we get to stand with you, and we get to finance your ventures. Yes, that's what Jonaki Holdings Limited does. It's located in Ntinda at Mlago Business Center. So we are always here to serve you. So that said, always check out this video or my live stream that happen every Friday from 5:30 on my YouTube channel, Jonan Kandwanaho. Leave a comment, like it, or say something. If you have a topic you want talked about, just comment in the comment box, and then we shall get to pick it up. My team will get to pick it up, and then we can talk about it or share our mind on it. Some of the topics that I talk about have been birthed from the live stream. Someone comments, talk about ABCD, and I talk about it. Yes, so I go straight to our today's topic. Of late, I've tailored all my talks to money lenders because money lending is on my heart. Offering credit or lending money is on my heart because, you see, businesses grow because they are lent to. Others start because they've been supported at a particular point. Circles exist to lend. Banks exist to lend. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 microfinance institutions exist to lend. Why? Because the lending supports the person who has lent, but it also supports the person who has borrowed. Yes, so you borrow to grow your thing or to invest in something, then you grow, we also grow. So that's why it has been on my heart that I speak to lenders to organize themselves. Because first is that, especially in Uganda, lending has had a bad name. And we exist to solve a particular problem. Whether we have a bad name or not, there are a few guys that lend genuinely. There are a few guys that do things right, and those are the guys that I speak to. And also for those that I speak to that are not doing the right thing, I encourage you that you watch these videos, that you attend my masterminds or other related masterminds that you can actually attend, and get to polish up your systems, get to polish up your processes, get to step up your systems as well. So that you can actually offer a good service to the clients, so that you can actually support clients and you lend them with the right mindset. Because you see, as I said, mindset is something very, very prime. What mind do you lend with? Do you lend this client with the mind of defrauding or foreclosing on their collateral? Because look, you have assessed me and actually confirmed that my cash flows cannot support the payment plan of 100 million. You see, the amount of money I commit per month is way higher than how much I earn or how much I'm making from the business. Why did you go right ahead and lend to me? All because I presented a collateral that is worth 2 billion. It is not right. That means your mind is not right. You're lending me when you're well aware that I'm not going to afford, and before I know it, you're going to foreclose on my collateral, and I'll lose. So you've actually not supported me. You've not uplifted me. You've not held my back. You've not patted me on my back. And that's not the right way to do business, because you can only foreclose on a number of people, because before you know it, you'll be foreclosed on as well. So do yourself a service. If you've been lending dubiously, if you've been lending with the wrong mindset, all for the sake of making money, you don't look at the ability of the client to pay back, it's high time you revised your method. It's high time you revised your procedure. It's high time you revised your processes so that you can actually straighten up your assessment and only lend to qualified clients. And you see, that's what masterminds help, because once you assess a client and you don't assess them well, the loan is bad at the point of dispatch. If the client does not qualify for a loan, they will struggle to pay. And before you know it, you've also lost. Because there are some of the clients you're going to lend to, and trust me, you're going to go to the courts of law and you're going to face it hard. You're going to face it hot, with the likelihood of losing your money. So I encourage you that you polish up your systems as a lender, that you step them up, that you do right things and only lend to good clients, right clients. Granted, you might not have all the clients 100% good, but by assessing, you can get to sieve out the wrong clients, and then you only serve the good clients. And it will do a service as a lender, but also it will do a service to the borrower. So my today's topic is owner's risk to money lending business. You as the owner of the business, you are a big risk. You're a very big risk to the business, because you see, whoever I talk to and say, you know what, I've been lending money for the last 10 years, he says, you know what, how have you thrived? How have you managed to manage, to keep your capital, to manage your capital, to be standing by now? Because I've seen a number of lenders who have gone out of business. They've not gone out of business because they know they are bad. They've not gone out of business because they are evil. They've not gone out of business because they probably do not have business knowledge, but it's because they are the risk to the business. They are the risk to the business. And until they solve that problem, they're going to keep a risk. And that's why businesses are coming up, but others are closing every day that passes, especially money lending. Because you see, money lending is one of the riskiest businesses you can ever have, both on the person who lends, but the person who is lent to. But you see, much of the time, it is us, the owners of the business, that are a risk. We pose a big risk to the business. We are a risk to the business. We are number one risk to the business. And this is how we are a risk to the business, because we lend to non-qualifying clients. Because I have an uncle, because I have a brother, because I have a cousin, because I have a close friend, I actually realize that these guys do not qualify for these facilities. But I go based on my emotions to go right ahead and lend to them. You see, we act 80% on our emotions. 80% of our decisions are informed by emotions, while 20% are informed by logic. But you see, you have to keep growing yourself. You have to keep growing your logical side of you. You have to make sure that you grow to a point when actually 80% of your decisions that you make are inform your decisions as logical, rather than 80% as emotion. So meaning that you should actually make 80% of your decisions based on logic rather than emotions. And that's when you're going to start making sound decisions. That's when you're going to start making serious decisions. That's when you're going to start progressing in business. Why? Because emotions do not grow businesses. Emotions do not support relationships. Let me give you an example. If you're handling a client and is around a client at the point of loan processing, you may choose to handle that client badly or apply your emotions. The client films back, you film back because you're the owner of the business. But before you know it, look at it long range. This client is not only going to affect you as a business, but there are several other guys that is going to get in contact with that you do not know about. That had you served that guy very well, he would actually have talked about you good or well, and then in a way you'll have marketed to a number of guys that this person actually knows. And you see, people tend to trust more a person who has tasted of your service than you yourself, the owner of the service. That's why testimonials are very important. But you see, it will not be you to give the testimonials. It will not be you to give the testimonies of the progress of your business. It has to be someone else. That's when someone will come to believe your word. That's when someone will come to believe the kind of business that you're running. But so you need as many clients that you have served them well, that you have treated them well, that they can actually move out there and share good testimonies about you. So that's why you have to silence your emotional part by a particular percentage. Keep it to a minimum percentage because it is very hard to deplete it to 0%. But if it is performing at 20% and 80% is informed by logic, you'll get to thrive because that's good enough to actually make you grow. That's good enough to make you grow. That's very, very good to make you grow. So you need to facilitate your logical part in decision making, in assessing the clients, than the emotional part. Because it is the clients that you have served very well that are actually going to come back and refer several other clients. Because this business that we do is majorly built on trust. It is majorly built on trust. That's why someone can afford to come to a lender who has a slightly higher rate than the other, because they have relations with them, or they've transacted with them before. So they can trust them with their collateral. They know these guys are not after foreclosing on their collateral, but they're after the ability to pay back. So as the owner of the business, I'll share with you my experience. Is that the time I was operating this business solo, I didn't have staff at the start. And much of the time, I was a risk to my own business in 3 or 4 aspects. The first aspect, I had a number of colleagues, a number of friends that wanted money. And you see, when you're lending to a friend, especially if you know that those friends of yours fall in a particular line of income bracket, if you know your client is, earns 10 million a month, or probably is your supervisor, or probably is your close person, you tend to give them preferential treatment, which is healthy, but it's not good that you give someone a preferential treatment to the extent that you compromise on your procedures. There are some clients who would even lend to, and they would not sign any document at all. Someone says, I want 50 million, you just give it to him or her. Just because you know them, just because, they are close friends too. And you can imagine the risk or the ditch we dug ourselves into. And as I talk now, there are even still some loans that we are struggling with. Why? Because we lent them when we are still acting on our emotions. Because I was still a problem. I was a risk to my business. Because someone knows you for a long period of time, it tends to tell you that, even if I don't sign, John, for the time you've seen me, don't you trust me? Don't you trust me? Don't you know that I can actually pay back? Don't you know that I have the ability to pay back? Yes, granted, you have the ability to pay back. But can you back that up with you signing on this document? Can you back that up with the collateral that you're committing? Can you back that up with your word, with your actions? Because look, by you signing this document, I'm not going to arrest you. I'm not going to imprison you. I'm not going to sell your collateral even when you are paying well. My point is, trust me as I trust you. So, I trust you, yes. I have seen you for a long time, yes. But you also trust me and sign these papers. Sign these documents. Because it's a 50-50. It's a win-win. But you see, I didn't have the confidence to do that time. I didn't have the confidence. But if you have a staff that know the procedures, that know the instructions, even if someone knows you, you actually do not compromise on your steps, on your procedures. Just tell them, go through those processes, go through those procedures. Because my hands are tied. I cannot put processes or procedures in place in order to break them. Then I had better not even put them at all. I had better, not put them across as well. I had better not establish them. Why? Because I do not establish something that I'm going to break. Then it's not working. Then I have to actually, let me remove it for good because it's not working. So it's a challenge we had. It is a risk I was posing to the company because as imparting my emotions in business. So I would get to some clients and they do not sign some parts. Others do not commit some collaterals. And if I know it, I am in problems. Not because they don't want to pay, probably they are genuinely lacking the money to pay. They genuinely do not have the financial capacity to pay. Why? Because I didn't even assess them in the first place. I didn't look at their financial statement. Probably they were highly indebted. I didn't ask them of their CRB reports. Why? Because I knew them. So I was a risk in a way. But if you have the staff, you have nipped that risk from the point, from the first point, from the point of dispatch. So what risk are you to your business? Because this cuts across several other businesses. What risk are you to your business? So much of the time, money lending business fails because the owners of the business are risk themselves to the business. Then the other area is that I would mix up personal money and company money. You see, as and when I want is when I'd actually get money from the company. As a matter of fact, at a certain point, we're operating the same account with the company. So you can imagine, you and the company are not different. You're operating one account. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because you are an individual, and the business is a business. It's an individual in its own capacity. So it's supposed to be running, and then you're also supposed to be running. You're supposed to be earning a particular amount of money that is fully defined from the business. You're supposed to be paying yourself a salary separate from you accessing the money of the account as and when you wish, because it is an entity that has life, and it also has to grow. It also has blood, so it has to grow. So I would mix my personal money and the company money. And I speak to you, if you're doing that, please desist from doing that, because your company money is different, is separate from your personal money. If you think you have to feed from that company, get a salary, get an allowance until that business can stabilize on its own. So you need to separate yourself, and sometimes you need someone to hold you accountable, to tell you that, look, Jonan, look, Jeremy, look, Prince, look, what are you getting this money for? Is it really going to the client? If you lend money, someone should be able to look at the transaction on the account and know what it is that is going to do. Someone should hold you accountable. Someone should tell you, you know what, before I approve this money, which client has applied? Are they in the system? Have they been assessed very well? Can they ably pay? Such questions have to be answered before money leaves the account, or else you're going to get out of business. You're next in the queue. I'm not predicting doom for you, but you're next in the queue to close that business. And who will have closed the business? It is you. And you know what I usually tell you? It's not about you alone. If the business is still about you, you're not yet grown. You're not yet there. If it's still about you, then there's a problem. The business has to go beyond you. The business has to know that, you know what, it is employing you, yes, but several other guys, which several guys have families, have dependents. So it's not about you. It's about the clients that you're serving. It's about the employees that you're employing. It's about their families that they are feeding. So as you close that business, as you pose a risk as the owner of the business, as you pose that huge risk, your big weight on the business, you need to know that it's not about you. It's a risk to you, to your employees, to the clients that you serve. There's that uniqueness that you bring on the market. There's that uniqueness that you bring in business. So if you get out of business, some clients are going to miss out because you don't exist. Granted, there are several other lenders, but there's that uniqueness that they benefit from you. There's that. So if you get out of, I pray that you don't get out of business. And you can only not get out of business if you apply the things that I'm sharing with you. And that's why I usually encourage that, you know, if you watch this video and learn and apply one or two things, I'll be the happiest. Because you will not have wasted your time and your data, but you also will not have wasted my time and data. So don't watch for the sake of watching. Watch and go and implement. Go and apply. So separate yourself from the business. Let the clients reach a moment and they can come to your business, get a service without even you noticing or knowing. Let me ask you a question. Does the owner of Stanbic know the people in Uganda who get loans from Stanbic Bank? Do clients in Absa, in Barclays Bank, former Barclays, Absa, does the owner of Barclays know the clients that are getting loans from Barclays in Uganda? They do not. At a certain point, an institution should actually serve you, a company should serve you without even necessarily interacting with the owner. Let me pose another question to you. When you're going to shop from that big shopping mall in Dubai or in Kampala, Uganda, or in Mombasa or in Nigeria, in Lagos, does the owner of that mall or that supermarket know you personally? But don't you come to the supermarket and buy those items? Doesn't he earn money? So you should actually grow your business to that extent. You should reach a moment that the clients come to your business and they've not necessarily interacted with you, but they have accessed the facility. They have accessed the loan. They have grown their business. They have birthed their business from you, but they've not interacted with you physically one-on-one. Same thing, these YouTube videos do, these live streams that I do, I've impacted lives as far as outside Uganda, Nigeria, Zambia, Namibia, Dubai, US, UK. Some of them have actually reached out in my inbox. But you see, I'm impacting them when I've not even met them personally. And that's how it's supposed to be, even business-wise. Someone should be able to consume of your service without necessarily interacting with you. So stop being a risk to your business. Stop being a risk to your business. Separate yourself from the business. Separate your business money from your personal money. If you so need money from the company, pay yourself a salary. Then the third point, build a strong team. Build a strong team. Build a strong team. Because if you don't build a strong team, you'll keep a risk to the business. You want to participate in every transaction of the business. And you cannot participate in all the transactions, especially if you grow. Because if you're still participating, you might not even grow. That's a worst case scenario. You might not even grow. If you still participate in every transaction of your business, you will not even grow. You have not grown, but you will not even grow. So empower your team. Support your team. Someone asks, what if I support my team and they leave? What if I train my team and I equip them very well and they start their money lending business? Now, what if, I also pose a question to you, what if you don't train them and they keep around? What happens? The business will not grow. So train your team, empower your team, let them understand your systems. Let them understand the procedures. Support them, uplift them, invest in them. Invest them in them to the extent that you actually feel like, if they moved and started a money lending business, they would thrive and succeed. But because if they keep around, they will definitely grow your business to higher heights. So support them, build them. Because if you don't, you will risk to your business. You'll keep peeping into every process, into every step. You'll keep wondering, how have they served this client? How have they served so and so? How have they? You'll feel, inadequate to even refer some of your close people because they will not be served well. Then you're still a risk. You should build your team to the extent that you're confident that these guys are going to be served, that your clients that you're firing are going to be served beyond the way you'd have served them. Beyond the way you'd have served them. You should have that extreme confidence. That extreme confidence. Then fourth, which is the last one, is that build systems. Put systems in place. Because it is upon you. It all depends on you as the owner. Build systems in place. That systems alone can actually kick you off. Build systems to kick you off the plane of participating in every transaction in your business. So build systems to kick you off the ladder, to kick you off the company, to make you irrelevant to the company. Because if you don't become irrelevant to your company, if you don't become irrelevant to your business processes, you'll pose a risk. Because you have the owner's mindset, you have the owner's mentality, you have the CEO mentality, and before you know it, your ego is going to pour to the clients and how they are served. It's going to pour to how clients are served. And before you know it, it's going to affect the growth and the progress of your business. Now, I might not exhaust all the things that I have on my heart. And that's why I encourage you that you get to sign up for a mastermind. I'm launching a mastermind on 1st June 2023. It's online, whether in Uganda or not. You can participate online. So you can sign up, you can type under that video, ask for a link, and we shall share with you. Someone will get in touch with you and guide you on how to proceed. Get a mastermind. There are some challenges, there are some problems that I've encountered, and they have costed me a lot that if I shared with you, you get to jump them, you get to skip them, you get to plan for them well in advance. So sign up for these masterminds because there's some experience that might be costly to this and that might get you out of business, might cost you a lot, or even cost your business. So if I've gone through it, I can share with you, and then you get to nib it at its start, and then you can actually get to thrive. So we can get to grow, then we can get to support one another because iron sharpens iron. So I want you to meet me at the top. I want you to grow, and that's why I pour out my heart every Friday from 5:30. With that, you can always check us out on our website, www.jonakiholdings.com, but also my YouTube channel, Jonan Kandwanaho, and then we get to grow together. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time. I see our time is fast spent. God richly bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed Friday evening. Best in the country you're in. Have a blessed weekend. See you next Friday from 5:30. God bless you. God bless you. Go out there, support someone because I am guiding you. I am supporting you. Go out there, teach someone. I appreciate you. and God bless you. Bye bye for now.